right, that new game smells wearing off. Let's just get down to business.
Injuries detected. Please seek medical assistance prior to loss of consciousness. How may this unit assist you, Commander? Presenting the Valerie unit, the latest and greatest in a line of Earth Directorate support automechanicals. All you could want in a squad mate at half the cost. The Valerie unit is the exclusive property of the Earth Directorate and is not intended for civilian or commercial use. Resale of this unit is strictly prohibited. Searching mission parameters. 1 moment. Searching. Error. Unable to find current mission parameters. Defaulting to last known objectives. Goal. Infiltrate Horizon Point Station and retrieve data pertaining to skip drives and rifts.
You'll have to pardon Val, Commander. She gets confused sometimes. Logic unit can't always keep up. I keep tinkering with her assembly, but no dice. Mighty kind of you to say. Just wish I could do more. But I suppose age comes for us all in the end.
Do you have any other queries, Commander? Attempting to ride this unit in order to replicate the experience of flight is strongly discouraged.
What? Are your legs painted on, Commander? Can't get around on your own power?
Thank you for your interest in utilizing this unit, but that action is inadvisable at this time. Do you have any other queries, Commander? Vitality augmentation, logistics evaluation, reconnaissance, and information extraction unit. Do you have any other queries, Commander? This unit was first deployed on a mission to Redacted more than 10 years ago and was primarily credited for that operation's success. Other highlights include the triumph at Redacted, the rescue of Redacted, and the first successful execution of the Stanfield maneuver in zero gravity. Detailed instructions on how to perform the Stanfield maneuver are proprietary to the Earth Directorate and strictly confidential.
Never scored myself the clearance to learn it for fact, but best as I can tell, it's a complex EVA involving a drone and an agent shot up with enough adrenal to wake the dead.
Attempts at the Stanfield maneuver, as proposed by theorist Marion Stanfield, has resulted in multiple deaths, mutilations, and maimings, leading to a ban shortly after discovery. Do you have any other queries, Commander?
Is it me, or has my ankle been squeaking? You can hear it too, right? Must be the damn rotator again. Anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Auntie Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Sure, always happy to tour around for a bit. What did you have in mind? Can't get that Annie's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All I heard about this moon called Eden ain't much lived up to the name, though. All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. Sure, we're a tight pair, but it's nothing unhealthy like you're slanting at. Val's got me out of more scrapes than I can count. She can be a little Delphic at times, but she'll grow on you. Promise. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. Be pretty horrifying if I wasn't. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware. I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Well, I learned about 20 ways how not to fix a worst. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. It was hard work, sure. But there was something special about seeing one of them long haulers fire up her engines for the first time and knowing you had a hand in her construction. Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Well, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Not much dignity in having your limbs blown off. Sorry, that was blunt. I'd say you've got cause enough yourself. 10 years lost ain't nothing to sniff at. But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and, well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. I've got time. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. That's either hope or foolishness, Commander, and I can't tell which. Even if we survive the rift, 10 years is a long time to be gone. No word. They probably figure I'm dead. But void it all. Now you got me thinking about it. How about this? We ever make it out of this system, I'll take you back to Triangulum, make the introductions myself. Deal? Oh yeah. They're gonna get a real charge out of you. She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding, and I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. I've got time.
Encoder made apples, but Anti-Fizzos made them better with Anti-Cleo's patented hot apple cider.
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? Good. I've got more than enough to do that I'd rather you not distract me until I've done what I need.
This paradigm thing you people are always going on about. Does it really improve your life?
Business is always good when a war's on. What do you need this time? I'm sure you'll find something to your liking.
Auntie's Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Charm. Zero G
Marginal improvement, still improvement, I suppose.
Trainee Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not. The soldiers before you are former Protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They're accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, and even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day.
Give Auntie 5 bits, and she'll give you a facial spritz.
I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits?
You can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's
What?
choice.
Oh, sure thing. The commander here is an experienced Deadeye and a natural leader. If you're looking for someone to deposit a few pearls of wisdom, I guarantee you'll not find better.
Much as I'm inclined to trust the word of your compatriot, I still expect you to advocate for yourself. You're the one who wishes to speak with my recruits, after all, not him.
Auntie's choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills.
You do have a certain confidence about you that is presently absent in these recruits. Very well, I'll allow you to speak with them. Don't make me regret this.
Attention trainees, guns down. That means you too, Simpson. We have a guest who has a few words to share.
You have something to say to us?
Why choose just any choice when you could choose
Wait, I know this one. Low overhead and competitive prices. Sure do. Here at Auntie's Choice, we serve Auntie best when we serve ourselves first.
Very good, Lindell. Someone has been reading their welcome materials.
Front to back, sir.
Yes, and a corporate ladder means there's always somewhere greater to reach.
Now, if Auntie's faith in you is not misplaced, then prove it, trainees. Weapons at the ready. And fire! Well done, trainees. Well done! It appears your words have had their intended effect. Oh, thank law. The trainees seem quite taken with you, too. As I suspect they would riot if I let you leave without a reward. Please, accept this revolver with Auntie's thanks. Plan willing, I will have as much success deploying your wisdom with my next batch of recruits.
Good form.
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
paradigm of yours, or sovereign, or whatever, does it really provide everything you want?
We are provided everything we need, not everything we want.
There's a difference?
You need what you need, but you don't need what you want. I suppose it's a subtle distinction. I was surprised to learn that things that are artificial are good.
Sorry, time is bits. Bits is time. Or are, that is.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like?
Been fed a lot of hooey about all of us.
Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Oh, that? That's nothing. Just a supply list. Oh, I suppose my advertorial deficiencies are obvious, huh? Knew I should have gone in on that extra training course. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. I didn't want to seem discourteous by asking. I still sometimes forget this isn't the Protectorate. Maybe I will put in the request. That'll sure show some initiative. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? I'm sure you'll find something that'll fit your liking.
Auntie's Choice knows that a better you is just 3 pills and an ointment away.
that scrounging around.
It's Auntie's. It's Auntie's choice.
It's the third drone in as many days. Where are the void damn things coming from? By things, you mean enemy combatants, right? Right. You see any drones? Don't feel shy about bringing them down. Merciful law, is this? Tell me you did not steal my performance review, soldier. We could be court-martialed for even looking. No, I am not gonna look. I'll wait for the reviews to be distributed along the proper channels, and... Oh, hell. This is worse than the last one. Promotion denied? No, this has to be a mistake. How can Officer Carr claim I don't understand supply and demand regarding shifting market urgency? That's unfair. And that lowered our burial fees. Carr clearly doesn't understand my value, but you do. Well, the next review period's right around the corner. Suppose it's never too late to tidy up my reputation. Take this for your trouble. While I learn my lesson, you might as well profit off my shortcomings. And you're ready to listen? Much obliged, stranger. Trouble is, it's only a matter of time before these Protectorate drones break through and do some real damage to Fairfield. If you're keen on lending a hand, bounty terminal's just left of the constabulary. Carr doesn't trust me with that kind of work anymore. Not after my last performance review. So I guess we're trusting in degenerate bounty hunters now. Sometimes they send 2 or 3, but you're right. It feels like the Protectorate is still testing our defenses. But I'm our last line of defense right now. Plus, Officer Carr ordered me not to step foot from this post. Really wish I could give those drones a piece of my mind. Unfortunately, I need to hang back and exercise my obedience to authority. Go out there and do what I can't. Show that bounty terminal and those Protectorate drones why no one fucks with Fairfield.
Might I have a word, Commander? I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-Protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting Protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my Directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Resistance is a mite strong. Wasn't like he was part of some greater movement. He avoided speaking out of line, but he was already spinning up discontent by the time we met. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing. Putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If the Protectorate suspects someone of having an independent thought, they subject them to some kind of chemical brainwashing. And these folks who get refreshed, they come out less themselves than before. More agreeable-like. That's if their mind ain't destroyed altogether. I don't know how it affected Zeb, but it's high past time I found out. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't before. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there. Island's going untouched by this war.
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
Ain't as tough as you thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed! No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. That obvious, huh? Yeah, I was hoping there'd be something worth harvesting. Something worth the trouble of killing the poor creature. But hope is the father of disappointment. If the occasion calls for it. But I fancy myself something of a biologist. Or, at least I used to. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Cute. Though I did come here for another job, it's true. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milverstreet of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My arm, my graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. When there's paperwork, there's enemy secrets. And dropping Raptidons on the place is a quick way to stop any personnel keen on destroying those secrets before we find them. It's a kinder fate than if they survived. Allowing us to walk off with this intel would surely land any survivor in front of the firing squad. Or sentimental refreshment. As far as I can tell, it's the polite name for re-education camp. If you've got the misfortune of being Protectorate, you live under the watchful eye of the Sentinels. You even think of stepping out of line, they pay you a visit and send you off. To where exactly, I ain't sure. But you'll be getting obedience kicked into you. And apparently there's some highly sensitive intel about mental refreshment hereabouts. The minister sent me here to find it. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much. At present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they erased it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. If the graft were an imaginary boo-boo, I wouldn't be in this mess, friend. It's paperwork that's the problem. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Law, no. The contract would just pass down the line of succession. It's a very long line. And anyway, I ain't a killer. No matter how much I fantasize about shutting him up when he goes on and on about how he's the father of capitalism reincarnated. Or lamenting that his mock apple martini ain't blended quite right. Ugh, never quite got the hang of those. They're right. Suppose if you've been in my position and managed to do well for yourself, could be an option worth keeping on the table, if all else fails. Get the feeling you will. Wait, before you go, tell me the truth. You're here for Milver Street, right?
Hate to be the bearer of bad news. You seem capable and all, but reckon your boss feels differently if he sent us. Sorry.
Fine. The job's all yours. Reckon I shouldn't be surprised he'd cast me aside. Yet again. If you'll excuse me, I got some words for him.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Sequencing attack strategy.
Why worry about the rift? It's not supposed to gobble up Arcadia for years, and I'm sure something else will kill you way before then.